H.R. 5404 bill. Guys, the economy is about to be crashing big time. Not only America, many other countries that are pegged by the dollar because the dollar is the world reserve currency, and their crash is coming. And that's why there's a smart senator or congressperson that wrote this bill, Bill H.R. 5404. And what the bill says is to define the dollar as a fixed weight of gold. Now, why do we need the dollar not to be fiat and backed by the gold? Is because there's too much inflation. Okay, so I'm going to read this right off the bill, and I'm going to take a picture of it, and I hope you guys Google it, okay? The number one point that the author makes is that the United States dollar has lost 30% of its purchasing power since 2000 and 96% of its purchasing power since the end of the gold standard in 1913. So what that's saying is that every time we save money, we're getting robbed by the central banking system by a hidden tax called inflation. Now, I don't want to go into and explain what inflation is, but we live in a society, and many other countries that use a central banking system, we live in a society that if we save our money, slowly but surely, the bankers rob of our wealth. They rob of your energy. They rob of your youth. They rob of your time. Okay? That's why everyone is in debt in America. That's why many countries are in debt. That's why real estate prices are going up exponentially in many different countries, or Canada, United States, etc. Okay? That's why, the mom and the dad have to work. 50 years ago, only the dad had to work. Okay? And so the reason is because of this hidden tax called inflation. So every year after year, we're losing our buying power. Now, I'm not making this shit up, guys. This is an actual bill, and I took a picture of it. I'm going to put it in there in this YouTube channel. What's happening is the central banking system are robbing us left and right, or indebting us left and right. Okay? And what that does is enslaves you. It makes you have to work. It makes your wife have to work. It makes your kids have to work just to pay the fucking bills, guys. Just to pay the fucking bills. And majority of people in America, what the wife works and the husband work, they still don't have enough money, called a deficit, to pay all their bills, and that's why they have to live on credit cards. Majority of people in America are in debt. I just posted on my Instagram and on my Facebook. If you're not following me on Instagram or Facebook, highly recommend it, that the average American owes $140,000 in debt, not including their mortgage. So again, $140,000 in debt, not including their mortgage. So those debt includes cars, credit cards, etc., not including their mortgage. That's a lot of debt. And the reason is there's the deficiency. When the mom and the dad works, there's not enough money to pay all the bills. And how is that possible? How can two grown men with college degrees, or two grown families with college degrees, or not even a college degree, work 40 hours? Some people work 2 or 3 jobs and not be able to live, not be able to pay for their food, not to be able to pay for health care. And the reason is because of the central banking system. Why do we have to live in a society where our money loses its value? Why couldn't our money appreciate? Why couldn't our money just at least stay the same? And the reason is because they want to enslave you, me, and everyone else in the world. Okay? That's what the central bankers do. Now, many of you guys don't believe this shit, but again, here's the story. Back when I was in high school, 1994, I put gas in my car, unleaded, for 89 cents, 86 cents, okay? And today, 2018, the same gallon of gas costs me $3 to $4, depends on what state I am. If I'm in California or Arizona, it's more expensive than if I'm in Texas, guys. Why is that? Okay? Back in the days, 50 years ago, 60 years ago, 70 years ago, you could buy a house for $25,000, okay, $30,000. Today, that same exact house is worth like $150,000, depends on what state you're in, Okay, I'm just talking about Texas. Okay, so the point of the story is, guys, is I highly recommend you reach out to your representative and make them and force them and tell them that you want them to pass this bill, because what this bill is going to do is going to allow you and me not to be in debt all of our lives. It's going to allow you to spend time with your family. It's going to allow you to spend time with your kids instead of making the credit card companies rich at 25% interest, 18% interest, instead of making the central bankers rich. Okay. Now, for almost 2 or 3 years, I've been ringing the bell. And everybody says, oh, Mike's crazy. But that's all right. I'd rather be crazy and ringing the bell for you guys, because our founding fathers of the United States, they hated the central banking. They hated taxation. And that's why there was a revolution, guys. There was a revolution because they were tired of fake money. They were tired of taxation. And that's why America was existed. In 1913, the federal bankers, cartels, bribed Congress, and they changed it. Now we're back into the old system. And since that time, all of us have become slaves. All of us, you, your parents, your grandparents, your friends, your neighbors, we're all becoming slaves. We all have to work 40 hours a week. Some of us have to have 2 or 3 jobs. And here's the worst thing. Even if you have 2 or 3 jobs, or even if you work 40 hours, even if your wife works and you work, there's still deficiencies where we have to live on our credit cards. And that's why I posted on my Instagram, the average American has $140,000 in debt, not including their mortgage, just on credit cards, just on cars, etc. So I highly recommend you reach out to your representative and have them pass this bill, because the real money is gold. Why is gold the real money, guys? Because there's a limited amount of gold in the world. When we print fiat money, we're just printing from the printing machine. What that's doing is robbing your time, is robbing your youth, is robbing time for you to spend with your family. But more importantly, is destroying the world, is destroying Earth, because there's not unlimited amount of resources in the world. There's only so many trees. There's only so much water that we can pollute. Where if things were backed by gold, then we wouldn't destroy the planet, because there's only so much money to barter to get wood or get clean water or build homes. So by making gold or the dollar backed by gold, would eliminate inflation, would eliminate a lot of the crashes, would eliminate you being in debt, or your family being in debt, or your friends are being in debt, guys. Now, for years I've been ringing the bell. People think I'm crazy, and that's okay. But I want to let you know that there's a big crash coming, guys. Now, I'm not the smartest cat out there. I'm not a CPA or a lawyer. I'm just a refugee, but I can look around, and from the time I've been to America, look around and see the symptoms of a crash, of a depression coming. And here's the thing, guys. Since the USA dollar is the world currency, that means that when the dollar loses value, all the other countries like Great Britain, like Canada, like all these other countries, their money value goes down. So when the US dollar crashes, all these other countries, they're piggybacking on the world currency, reserve currency, they're going to go down. And vice versa. For example, if you're looking right now in Canada, there's a big crash in their real estate. So that trickles down to America. And that's what happened in 2006, fourth quarter. Other banks in other countries went belly up, and it trickled down to U.S. banks and U.S. insurance companies and the U.S. economy going, because they're all interrelated, okay? Because of the dollar being backed, being the world currency. So my advice to myself, not advice, but what I recommend is you guys reach out to your representative and tell them you want the HR 5404 bill to be passed. If you're tired of being a slave, if you're tired of working 40 hours, if you're tired of having 2 jobs, if you're tired of you working, your wife working, your kids working, and you guys still can't pay your bills, you have to put it on your credit card, I highly recommend you call your representative and tell them you want this bill passed. Because this bill can save our economy, can save you from working 40 hours and not having enough money to pay your bills. And believe it or not, guys, the crash is coming, and this crash is going to be so much bigger than 2016. And it's going to create great opportunities for people that have been watching my channel, people that bought gold in 2016 when I started buying gold, people that are using creative imagination versus just borrowing on their credit card. There's so many investors right now that do so great because they go to their local bank and they let them borrow money. Well, dude, that's not creative. That's not imagination. Dude, anybody can borrow fucking money. Anybody can be in debt. And I have no fucking respect for any entrepreneur, any investor that's in debt. I mean, I have family members, I have friends that own multi-million-dollar businesses, over 200 employees, but they're in debt up their ass, okay? Now, they have nice houses, they have nice cars, they have all this big company, each location has 100 employees working for them, but they're in fucking debt. So the truth of the fact is, I don't care if your business makes $100 million a month, but if your business is in debt, that means end of the day, you're in negative, man. So you're better off having no debt and making $50,000 a year versus some guy that makes $100 million, but he's in debt $1 trillion. He's in debt $500 million. And what the bankers want you to do is they have you on a leash. They enslave you, but they give you all this free things. Like, here's some free money so you can go buy and get in debt and buy trucks, or go buy equipment, or pay your employees, or, go buy yourself a nice home, but you're really a house nigger, okay? And I don't mean no disrespect, but if you study the history, you know that there was 2 types of slaves. There was the slaves that worked in the plantation, and there was the slaves that worked as house Negroes. And the house Negroes, they lived a better life, but they were still slaves. Right? And that's what happens to many of these entrepreneurs that are driving nice cars and they're showing the bling bling. But the fact is, they don't own their fucking cars. They don't even own their fucking businesses, nor do they own their fucking houses. The bankers do. And sure, they may be eating at nice places. They may be living in nice locations, nice apartments, condominiums, whatever they want to live in. But the problem is they're in fucking debt. And if you follow someone that's in debt, then more than likely you're going to be in debt. And at the dojo, at Mr. No Fluff, we hate the fucking central bankers. I believe in imagination, creativity. Every single one of you guys has the seed of imagination planted to you from your creator, whoever you believe. And debt was not part of that bullshit, right? Your credit score was not part of your heart and your will and your strength to make things happen for you and your family and humanity. No, dude. Debt robs us. Debt is a cancer, and it spreads. And my suggestion to you guys is reach out to your representative and tell them, hey, you want this bill to go to the next level. HR 5404. If you don't believe me, just Google it. And if you don't believe me that the crash is going to be coming, and this crash is going to be so much bigger in 2006, then I'll bet you anything, right? I'll bet you $1,000. And we'll just wait and see if it's going to come true. Now, I don't have a crystal ball, but I can tell you by driving around, okay, in my local area, I see all these apartment complexes being built. I see all these houses being built, and they're not building $100,000 homes. They're not building $200,000 homes, okay? They're building mega mansions, and they're building $500,000 homes, and man, and they're just getting everyone in debt, guys, everyone, okay? And so what is debt going to do for you? It's going to kill your dreams. It's going to make you work a stupid job where you don't want to. It's not going to allow you to spend time with your kids, spend time with your family. Go do fun stuff. Enjoy life. So anyways, guys, I'm going to get off this soap opera. And please don't get into debt. It's easy to make money to get in debt. But once they got you, man. If you thought this video was useful, it added value in life, jab the like and leave a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. Do you like debt or you don't like debt? Hustle and bustle and don't take no for an answer, guys. See ya.